morning. How are you today? Let's start with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for a new day. Thank you so much for sunshine. The clouds are heavy for me. Thank you for blessing me with the opportunity to do things outside today, for giving me the whole day. Please help me to use my time wisely and to be in tune with the Spirit, to know what that would have me do. I'd like to go work on my teepee down there, but I have to lift up all the grass, and I don't want to be in pain. And I'm grateful that Thou hast got me back into spinning and carding and taught me how to card. That's really nice. I really appreciate that, and being able to share it with others. And thank you so much for helping me to make those 2 balls of yarn and have a third one ready to make into a ball. Thank you so much for Anchor It and for what she's teaching me with my baskets. Thank you for the success I had yesterday in making the braided top and blessing me that I could understand what to do and see the problem. I'm so grateful for my mechanical mind. Thank you so much for giving it to me. It brings me much joy. And thank you for the birds. But I saw that we have 2 kittens here, and one of them went into high alert when he saw a bird land nearby. And I don't want to lose my birds to the cats. The cat looks so beautiful and fluffy and cuddly, and I'd love to own it and keep it inside, but I know that's not going to happen. Thank you so much thank you for the wildlife around. Thank you for all the deer and for the preparations Willem has made to protect our crops from the deer. They have everything to eat now. They don't need our garden. And thank you for helping things to grow. Thank you for Willem wanting to dehydrate everything so we have food storage. And thank you for teaching me how to use it. And thank you so much for my Instant Pot. I really love my Instant Pot. I love that I can make dinners quickly and very nourishing with lots of different vegetables in them. Thank you so much for helping us to do these things. I'd like to ask that Thou bless our families. Bless them that they will make good choices. Help them to be prepared for whatever's coming and for the prices that are going to be so limiting on what we can afford to buy to eat. Bless us that we will always have enough to eat. And I guess we're going to get skinny. And thank you for this opportunity to have less junk food if it's unaffordable. And bless those that are so poor that they can barely afford food now. And help me to do whatever I can to help people. And help me not to be a hypocrite. Someone told me I was a hypocrite. Please bless me that I know that what I want to do and what I actually do are not always the same. How I want to behave and how I do behave are not always the same. Please help me to behave properly. Help me to notice when I've done wrong and to repent, so that I can be filled with joy and not filled with guilt. Thank you so much for Jesus Christ and for how much He has affected my life and my ability to have a good life and to live without guilt and negative thoughts and all. And please bless all those out there that are sick. And thank you so much I love that I'm in Canada. Thank you for Canada, and thank you for the people that I associate with and the influence that they are on me. Help me to be a better person. And please bless those who are offended by me, that they may feel Thy arms around them, and that they may know that Whatever offense I have given them is not from thee, but just from a sinful, regular old person, me. Lord, help me not to do that to people. Please bless us all with nice weather. Bless everybody with nice weather. I feel so bad for the people in Pakistan who can't get wheat and who can't have their homes taken away. Bless them that they will be blessed by thee, that they will come unto thee. And I suppose all of these terrible disasters help us to come unto thee, because when we have nowhere to turn, we turn to thee. Thank you for always being there, patiently waiting for us and waiting to bless us. I have a lot of possibilities today, and I'd like to do the grass on the grass hut, but the grass is wet. It's going to rain again. I have all these long willows. I'd like to use them to do the grass. But the willow, I don't want it to dry out, the rest of the willow, so perhaps I need to make another basket to use it up before it's dried out. Thank you for caring so much about us and giving us so many possibilities in our day. And bless those that don't have possibilities, but that have to do the same thing every day and who don't love their jobs. Please bless us all that we might find joy in whatever we have to do, in whatever service that we have to give, to be able to give it freely and happily, that we may have joy from it. Please bless the people of Ukraine. Bless them that they'll be able to find places to live. And thank you for helping the army to be able to take back its territory from Russia. And please do something about Putin. I guess we always have to have a nemesis. But bless us that he won't be able to inflict more damage on people and do so many horrible things that his army has done to the people in Ukraine. And protect the nuclear reactors everywhere in the world, that we may all be safe from nuclear fallout and nuclear poisoning. Help us to clean up the mess we've made on our planet, whether it's the air, the ocean, or the ground. So many people throw things out of their car windows. I have to go along and pick it all up on the roadside. Please bless them that they will know that they should just put it in a bag. And thank you so much for blessing us that we have this amazing dump. Bless everybody that they may be empowered to put forth recycling efforts and reuse efforts so that their area may also have the things that people don't want that are with them. That they may have the opportunity to have things without spending so much money on them. There's so many poor people among us. And please help us to give to those who would ask from us. And I realized something the other day. When I put somebody in front of me that's begging, it's not about whether they deserve it or not. It's about my ability to be free with what I have, to be willing to give. Bless the people that I share money with on the roadside or the stand there begging. Bless them that they may have what they need, and that it may not be a career to them, but it may be a stopgap. Help us all to be able to provide for our families, be able to use the things that thou hast put before us. Help us to use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. Help us not to waste, especially food. And please bless the transportation system, bless the people that run it and that are part of it, that they may be able to provide for the people that need things. There's a lot that the transportation system moves that is not of any value. but the people that produce it get a wage which feeds their family. I know this life is supposed to be full of trials, but some of the trials seem unexplainable to people, and some of the trials are very painful. Please bless those that are in pain, that don't know where to turn, and that have such struggles. I remember struggling, and it wasn't fun. Thank you for blessing me that I've come to this ripe old age and am able to have time. I've always had time to do what I want. Thank you so much for that freedom, being a mom at home. And thank you for all of our cars and all the things that we have that we take for granted, our phones and the opportunity to make videos and to watch videos. And thank you for my spinning wheel. Help me to do my bobbin lace again and figure out those flowers. Bedford lace is not easy. Please help me to do a good job with that, and that I might have a lovely product and that I might learn something. And we're so grateful for all our blessings and ask that Thou will help us to remember to thank Thee for them. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Well, hello. We have one person here. Hello, one person. One person. So I was praying for, 11 minutes. And there's one person here, but I bet people have come and gone. I hope that they are not put off by prayers. I'm sharing my prayers not to show how awesome I am at praying, but because I don't think some people really know how to pray, or that they realize what they could be praying about. And prayer makes me so much better. I feel so much better when I'm praying. After I pray, except my neck is getting stuck in that position and it hurts. So, I finished the other basket, the last one. It's a basket for the bathroom, a trash basket. I made it a little too tall. And I think that my uprights were too thick because I couldn't control which angle they went. They didn't go straight. And every time I went around, I straightened them, and then I wove around them after I'd straightened them and held them in place. That's the sound of a dove's wings, isn't it? But I think it's a blue jay over there. Yeah, the doves come to eat the stuff on the ground, but those little kittens, I had 2 kittens out here today. Oh, they were so cute. Adorable little kittens. But that black and white cat that I see around must be their mother. So that cat has taken up my deck for a residence. It's an awesome deck for animals to get shelter under. It's really a great deck. So we have 3 raccoons. I believe that's all we have at the moment. A big one and 2 small ones. And we have 2 baby cats and a mother cat. They're such cute cats. Too bad I'm allergic to them and they eat my birds. My birds are more important than a cat. If I had a cat, that's all I'd have. But if I have birds, I have many varieties. So where'd that dove go? I heard its wings. I don't see his silhouette in the tree anymore. Okay, so I went in the sunroom and I dejunked a bit more. I filled up this basket by the door. That's the tall basket I made the other day. A square basket. I have some things that need to go down to the pottery studio and some things that need to go out to the greenhouse. I'd like to check on the hostas that I planted on Deer Meadow and see how they're faring. And Willem harvested the sunchokes, and he said that they weren't ready yet. He harvested them too soon. They're not big as they could be. Which is it's a big shame, eh? Do sunchokes, would they grow up on the hill up here? I have this hill which is pretty useless. I mean, it's a pretty hill and it blocks the view and it has flowers on it sometimes. What if I could turn it into an artichoke hill? I think the grass is thin enough that it would be fine to do that. I could mow it, and then I could go along with a stick and drop in an artichoke so that they will grow. We started our artichoke patch by buying a few of them at the grocery store, Jerusalem artichokes. I'm not sure who started calling them sunchokes, but there's regular artichokes, which are big, huge things, and the artichoke hearts we find in jars. That's an artichoke. But a Jerusalem artichoke grows underground, kind of like a sweeter potato. Really crunchy, but not as starchy, and really nice. But if you eat too many, you can't really eat too many or it doesn't taste as good. Now, I was sitting out in the back yesterday on the shady deck. It was actually warm last night. It's going to go up to 13 today, which is 13 and 13 is 26 plus 32 is 58. So it's going to go up to 58 today. It's a good day for a nice sweater. This is one that says, "Every child matters." The natives have been treated so badly and their children have been taken and generations have been taken and they've really lost their stuff, their culture. And yet they're not assimilated, because they were told that they were horrible people. And because they had to be bad so that they wouldn't be altar boys and get abused. It backfired. It didn't give them the white people's culture and prosperity and whatever. It put them into another place of racism really is played out against them. But it doesn't make sense. But maybe once they have their knowledge back, like they have to learn it again, how to use all the plants and animals. They've lost so many things. A few of them have them. A few of them still know how to make birch bark baskets or have taught themselves. I would love to share what I know with them. I guess they can watch videos and find out. I always admired them of ancient days that they could do everything without stores. They traded with the white men so that they could have shiny things. And guns, I guess. Things that they couldn't make. But those things they didn't need anyway. But everything they needed they could produce. They would grow corn, beans, and squash. I figure everybody knows this, but there's a whole generation after me, almost 2 generations after me, that don't know all these things. So I'll tell you. So if you plant in your garden corn and squash and beans, you end up with a perfect combination. The corn grows up, the beans grow up the corn, and the squash covers the ground and creates shade for the ground and protects the crop. Yeah, they really should harvest not potatoes, they should plant squash, pumpkins and squash that crop like that in cornfields. And the beans fix nitrogen, and corn need a lot of nitrogen. When you look at a cornfield, you'll see that the corn is all the same except at the edges or around the corners. It tapers off. Well, you know why that is? It's not because it's different soil. It's because that's where the fertilizer is able to reach. So the edges don't get the fertilizer the same as the middle and everywhere else does. So they don't grow as tall. What if they were to grow squash on the ground? The corn doesn't shade the ground completely. And if it does, I guess you could plant them a little farther apart. It's been years since I grew corn. Because it takes so much nitrogen, and because it's really a heavy feeder for what you get from it. You get one corn cob. Whereas if you put potato in that place instead, it doesn't need nitrogen, and it doesn't, and it gives you more. You get more potatoes from a spot than you do a chunk of corn. Now, I'm not sure about Jerusalem artichokes, but they are very good for you. And beans, I always planted row beans, you know, the short ones. But you get one crop off them and it's done. But if you plant runner beans, some of them run a long way and they fork. And then you get so many beans. So I once did plant corn and squash and beans, and I found that the beans overran everything and it became a big mountain over the corn. I guess it's because it's a hybrid now. They've hybridized the seed, so a corn isn't going to be 3 times as tall, but a bean is. A bean will grow a long way. Maybe you need to grow them along wires, sideways wires. I don't know if these grapes are even worth having, because the raccoons are eating the grapes as soon as they turn ripe. That doesn't do much good, does it? Oh, I just saw something. I have this, look at this thing. This pole, I mean, the tops of these are headed the wrong direction. So I thought I have to take this off and put this one over here so that those ends go together and then it comes out, right? They're connected. But what you could do, perhaps, is rotate it around. Could you? No, then it'll be facing down. No, it might work. If you can rotate it in place and rotate it around the other one, won't it work? Won't it be in the right position? I think it will. See all that greenery right there? That's all phlox. Flax, not phlox. Now, if I got rid of those vines and just got rid of them, dug them up, I could transplant them somewhere. Isn't it beautiful out here this morning? Look at that patch of orange on that tree. We used to have a maple tree that looked like that. We had one out there. It was incredibly orange, but it fell down. And we had another one out that way that was incredibly orange and yellow, and it fell down. It's autumn. Today is the first day of autumn, actually. Actually, it starts at 9 p.m. tonight. I didn't fill up the feeder, I just filled up the tray around it. Chickadee-dee-dee-dee. So what do you think? What if I just get rid of these grapes? Of course, getting rid of the raccoons sounds like a better idea. What if I made an arch? And I just put them up over the arch? It would mess up my view. I have a lovely view. Maybe I should make the arch that way. I don't know what to do about that. But it's not working, and I've spent 20 years working with these, and they've never come to any good. Maybe I should just cut them all off dig them up and plant them somewhere else. Plant them along the fence row in those garden beds out there. Maybe they could grow along the fence. They like south-facing slopes. You know, that slope up there would be pretty good for them. Why don't I do that? Why don't I transplant them into the garden beds? I don't think they're very easy to transplant. But I think I'd like to clean this area up. So am I going to make an archway with them over it? A gazebo? Well, how high would it have to be? And if it came up to there, you know, like in reality, it would probably come up like this. And it would just block the whole view. If it went up that high, and I could see under it, but that's pretty high from this angle. I don't know. But maybe that's what I need to do. I need to move them. Move them along the fence where I can have... Or maybe I could just plant them on the hill up there. Have to put manure in each hole to hold the moisture. But what's the most important thing to do? I want to do my grass hut. All right, maybe I will... Yeah, maybe I'll go along the grass. I'll go get all the grass, and I'll put it on the grass hut. And I'll use the willow to fasten it there. I think I'll be able to do that. And then I'll work at home another day when it's not beautiful out. I'm going to need gloves because it's kind of cold. I could cut more grass and use it because it'll be dry. It's standing up, getting dry in the breeze today. The cars still have wet windshields. You know, when I was a little girl, my grandmother, we would go to my grandmother's and we were not allowed to go outside, out in the backyard, until the sun was completely on the backyard. She was smart, you know. We weren't allowed to go out there and get wet and dirty and have wet clothes and track in wet into the house. She was a smart woman. She had a very clean house, but she had Mrs. Knickerbocker. Was it Knickerbocker? I think Mrs. Knickerbocker was her housekeeper, and she would come and clean the house. You see, that's the difference in messy people and clean people. Clean people clean houses, and messy people hire them. Except often messy people are also a mess mentally, like they can't get it together, and so they don't generally have great jobs and make enough money to afford a housekeeper. You need somebody who is not a mess, who has a clear thinking mind, who can, like Willem, he's a chemist, an inorganic chemist. Imagine, he's inorganic, and I'm about the most organic people there is. Not that I eat organically grown food, but I think if I stayed in the place too long, my feet would grow roots. But luckily I wear shoes and I keep moving. Indeed. Nobody's here. Oh, one person's here. Hi, one person. But haven't spoken. Who are you? Anyway, people will come on later and read. Or not read, they'll listen, and we'll have a conversation in the comments. I love the conversations in the comments. I have one friend that she used to comment all the time. But of course life changes and she's thought about other things. But it was really neat to see her input. I mean, I'm late, 7 years late in reading my comments. 6 years ago, I think I got my hips replaced. And 7 years ago, why did I stop reading the comments? I guess I was just doing other things. I would upload, so my world was about uploading videos. I would make videos from my regular camera, I think. So I didn't have cell service back then, I don't think. Do you realize the internet started up in about not started up, but for our family in 96 or 95, I guess. Yeah, in 1995, we got a 286. Our friends had a 386. And we weren't sure, like, should we spend that extra few $100s to get a 386? So we got a 286. And we didn't know, we'd never bought a computer, and so I did lots of research. I phoned a computer store and I asked about their computers. And he started rambling off how many bytes and RAM and hard drive, and I had no idea what any of that stuff meant, but I just made a list of it. I called one company and they told me everything. I called another one and they told me everything. And back in those days, you didn't have a whole lot of choices. You didn't have laptops. You had great big computers. And you had floppy drives, a 5.5-inch floppy drive. And then when the 3.5-inch floppy drives came out, how are we going to read our 5.5-inch drives or 5-inch drives? So we kept around an old computer to make sure that we could still get our information off of those. I wrote my journal on it for a long time, but then I lost it. I wonder if it's on a floppy drive. I bet it is. I wonder if I have any of those floppy drives anymore. If I do, I know where they would be. Years ago, we cleaned out my bedroom. It was my office and our bedroom. And I had been a travel writer, so I had many albums of photos from my trips. They were good photos. They were good trips. And I also had floppy drives stored. Yeah, I bet those things are in there. They're in that bin. And if the water has gotten into them, I'm not sure that it would have damaged the floppy drives, but we don't have any way to use them. There's no way. I suppose you could attach a 5-inch floppy drive to a regular computer. Anyway, 1995 is when the internet started for us. And it was relatively new. It'd been around a couple years maybe. Not very long. And so everybody born after that time grew up with the internet. So my first kids were born in 79 and 81, and my next group of kids were born 10 years later, 89, 91, and 93. So the next three, we had that computer, which they played Jumpstart and Reader Rabbit. That's where they were learning to read, was Reader Rabbit. And then there was this ABC program, and you touch the A on the keyboard, and the A would get all excited. You'd get a song, a song that started with Apple or something like that. And then you do the same with the B, and you'd get a song. Oh, and there was Lemmings. Lemmings still exists. Lemmings was one of our first games. Well, not first. It was after a while, I guess. And Lemmings got pretty complicated. You had all these lemmings that would just bounce along, following each other, and one would fall off the cliff, and the next one, and the next one. But if you got there in a hurry, you could build. You could build blocks. And if you could get a builder. You get a builder to go in, and the builder would build the blocks, which would make a bridge. And then all the lemmings, as he's building it, they're still coming along. And the first lemmings, they go up the step, no more steps, and he falls off. And everybody keeps falling off until you get the last step built, and then they're going up. And the lemmings just keep coming. But there's like a limited number. There's so many hundreds of lemmings, and they all have to go through this door, and you can win the game. And the quicker you get all your you can give them umbrellas too. You can tap on them and make them have umbrellas, and so they're now falling to a lower level if they're still game. Otherwise, if they go into the void, you're screwed. But you have to build a bridge. Lemmings was fun. And then there was Tetris. Tetris showed up. That was a good game too. Okay, so I guess I better get going and start doing something while I feel like it, because it might not last. And if my back hurts when I'm done, then I'll spin, and it won't hurt my back anywhere because it'll hurt. Okay, I'm off. I'm gonna build another basket today too. What if I use one of those round discs I have in the studio for my pottery? What if I used one of those as the base? That might be kind of neat, but it's pretty big. I don't want something that big. My, this is a cold breeze, and the sun is missing. But it's only going to get colder, so we still have summer. Let's use it. Wonder if I can protect these rest of the grapes from these raccoons. I don't think I can. I think it's over. So why have grapes if the raccoons are going to eat them all? Trap the raccoons out. Get rid of the raccoons. Then you can have grapes. But you'll just get more raccoons. The raccoons come from everywhere. They're out there. They can smell food. And if the raccoons didn't eat them, the bears might come and eat them. I haven't seen the bears since we brought all the food in. They can't smell it, and so they don't come for it. And we don't cook meat, so they don't smell that from the house. Okay, well, I'll be back eventually. I don't have cell service anywhere I'm going to do anything today. Oh, you know what I was thinking? What if I took cattails and I cut them? So, like, to make a cushion for the chair, I could make cattail cushions. Hey, look, that chair has stakes. I could even weave a nice cattail. I could make a cattail mattress on the bench, and then I could weave cattails there. What do you think? Think that's a good idea? Should I go get cattails? I have some. Where did I put them? Oh, I made a mattress out of them. In the manger. In the creche. The nativity scene, sorry. So I'm going to have to go get more. But first I have to get let's see, they're turning brown. If you don't get them before they're brown, then you don't get very good cattails anymore. They're much better when they're green. There he goes. You heard him, eh? That's the sound of the mourning dove. His wings make that sound. He's waiting for me to go away so he can eat these. But there's those kittens. I don't know about that. Should feed them up on that table over there. Why don't I do that? These safflower seeds have been here, and nothing is eating them. Except the cat. The kitten came and ate them. He sat there and crunched on them and ate them. I think they're bitter. That's what I've been told. But cardinals eat them. I like cardinals. That's what I want, is cardinals. I think I'm going to put them on that table over there. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get a cardinal. Or maybe they'll just all blow off. So much for our sunshine. Okay, well, if I have a chance, I'll talk to you again later. Love you guys. Oh, 3 people are here now. Oh, hi, Tyler. I didn't see you there. How are you? I'm so glad when you come and say hi. Makes me feel like I'm not alone. You're not alone, even though at times you're really on your own. This mourning dove really wants these safflower seeds. What if I put that table in there? You are loved in ways that can't be shown. Your needs are known. No, I think that's too close to the tree, and the cat might climb up the tree and get on it. You're not alone. And when you cry, you're just letting go of heartache deep inside. See that dove right behind that leaf? Here's his head. La, 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 la. Your needs are known. You're not alone. Look at him just looking around. Would you like me to leave so you can have these safflower seeds on the ground? Oh, the hose. The hose should be put away. Indeed. Look at that lovely pumpkin. Isn't that a great pumpkin? It needs to be moved out of the grass. Grass needs to be cut. Yes, I think that these grapes have finally started to bear fruit. But you can cut the grapes back, and they'll come back next year. Maybe they'll come back better. I just got a tweet saying that that Tesla has recalled 1.5 million cars because the windows can pinch a person's fingers. Can you imagine? The Make Work project. Windows are meant to pinch people's fingers, aren't they? Isn't that what it's all about? Get your fingers in there and it's gonna hurt. That tire also does not need to be there. Yeah, there's definitely some things that should be done around the house. I should finish making these swings. I should get that tire out of there. Maybe it's a good tire and it goes on a rim and it should go in that box place there. I have to get my winter tires replaced. I have winter tires on. You know what I do? Your insurance is less if you put on winter tires. Well, if you put on all-season radials, it's not as good for your insurance as if you put on snow tires. In Canada, here anyway. So, if I replace the snow tires with radials, I have to do it in the spring and then I have to do it in the fall. But if I leave them on all year long, they're just now getting to be very low tread, like a 1/4 inch or something. They're really low. The front ones are. I'm not sure about the back. So I've just used one set of tires. The snow tires from last year have been on all summer as well. So I only need to replace one set of tires. Isn't it a waste to have to replace the whole tire because it doesn't have a deep enough tread? There's a whole lot of rubber in that whole tire. Wouldn't it be better if the treads didn't wear out? Hey. Hey, Morning Dove. Hey there. Hey there. Look, he's getting closer when I'm talking to him. Hey, Morning Dove, would you like some safflower seeds? I wonder if I held some in my hand if he would come. Yes, he's looking at my hand. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't have doves. I mean, they're always in the oh, I want to go look up into that. We have a bat house. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, other than sit here and feed these doves, is, oh, my back now is not very happy. Okay, let's go up on the hill, and we're going to get a flashlight, and we're going to shine it up in the bat house and see if we have bats. Because I think a bat flew past yesterday when I was. Let me see if I can access a see all my baskets. Let's just look at all the baskets. Those are 2 birch bark. And here is one that is wisteria. And this one is pine bark and what's that called? Rushes. And this one is it's got stuff to go to the reuse center. That's a willow. Oh yeah, and up here I've got one of these. This is sedge. Very tiny. I'll have to work on that again one day. Oh, and this one is willow. And this one is willow. And that one is pine needles. Isn't that nice? And this one over here is pine needles. And an oyster shell I found in Florida. And what else have I got? This one is willow. And that's cilantro sticking out of it. And what's over here? This one is falling apart. This one is birch bark. And what else have we got here? Oh yeah, these. This is rush. And this is cedar bark. And this is cedar bark. And this is pine bark. And what's next? And this one is cedar bark. I like this little basket. It's kind of cute. I have a nice little basket. Probably deserves a better place than that. And this one I didn't make. This one is, I forget what this is called. It's many different things. Grapevine, reed, which is not reed. Or it's not rushes, yeah, it's a reed. And this is, I forget what that is. This looks like it's corn. Reed. And what's this? This is willow? Something. And then look at these baskets. Yeah, look at this. We're having a little tour. This is birch bark. There's a Luna moth. Have you ever seen a Luna moth? And then this is birch bark with cedar root. And this is birch bark. And that's bamboo thread. And this one is pine bark. And this is birch bark with cedar root, split cedar root or spruce root. That it worked much better to be split. And this is birch bark with pine needle. And this is sedge grass over tussock sedge grass. It's pretty strong. And this one is, this is tussock sedge, and I think that's hemp rope. This is reed, boughten reed, and I can't remember what the cordage is called. This is round reed and flat reed. I made all these baskets. This is tamarack. Rose petals for the rose bearers. This is a spur, a hat. There's nothing over here, is there? No. Okay, this is willow. And with a piece of cedar. And this is another of those baskets I made. I'm going to put this one over by that so I can line up all the baskets I've made this year. Oh, we didn't see that one. That one is willow with This is sprunged. This is not good. This should go through there and then be caught behind the next one. There we go. So those have both got handles using holes. All right, let's see what's next. What other baskets do we have here? I like this one. It's called Coiling. Nothing there. Any baskets in here? Nope. Okay, that one's willow. Oh yeah, I was going to show you this one. It's an antler. The antlers are held together. It's part of the skull as well. It's a very sturdy basket. Used to have a lot of those kind of baskets. I think I had 6 of them or something. They used to hang up there. All right, what else have we got here? Another wisteria. What else have we got? This is another willow basket. Turn on the lights. And this is the spinning I've done. I've got 3 bobbins now. And what is over here? Here's another one. This is cedar bark and willow and grapevine. This is the grapevine part. And grapevine in there. I believe it's grapevine. No, it's willow. And this is cedar bark. And this is rush. I think I have one in there. That one is raffia around tussock sedge. And this is the other one here. This is the other one I just made. I'm going to put them together and see how they differ. Aren't they nice? Look at that. And then the garbage container, I'll get that one and put that beside it. And then I made 2 more. One for Scarlet, one for Elida. Those were the flower baskets. Oh, and this is rush. And this one is rush. This is my other willow basket I just finished yesterday. 9 o'clock. Those are nice baskets, aren't they? Wow. I might be a basket maker. This one doesn't have handles. This one, squareness it's rotated on top. You see those 2 parts of it? That was straight, but that one was bending. And no matter how much I bent it backwards, it just continued to bend. But if I had had a form inside, it wouldn't have done that. A mold. I'll push this down so you can see the yellow. See the handle there. pretty cool. I'll take you upstairs. I think there's a bunch up there. There's none in here. Are there any in here? Just a little table. There's none in here. Here, what have we got in here? Okay. So here we have this big blind I made out of rushes. And, well, this is birch bark. That one is not mine, but it's round reed, and they've attached bark all over it. Isn't that pretty? What have we got over here? Oh, this one is from South Africa. It's not mine. But I painted that painting. This is dandelion. And birch bark with bamboo. Birch bark. This is birch bark with bamboo. And I think this is the lid for it. That's supposed to, this is part of, I think that's the lid for that. And this is birch bark, little box. And this is willow. Well, this is dandelion to be used. This is birch bark, willow. This is rush. So all these baskets, there's 4 of these, and they all fit inside each other. And this is tussock sedge, and regular sedge, and willow. And this is birch bark. Oops. And this is dandelion. And this is cedar bark. And this is birch bark. This is one of my favorite little ones. I've used this for years. And this is cedar bark. And this is birch bark. This is birch bark with spruce roots. See, if they had been split, they would have easily bent. They're kind of bumpy. This is birch bark. And those are leather. And this is cedar bark. And this is honeysuckle. I bought this from the Cherokees. And this is birch bark. And that's all. That's all, folks. Okay. That's kind of cool, showing you all my baskets, eh? You don't usually get to see all my baskets. wonder if I have any up here. There's stuff stored in them. This is all the stuff from my mother's. This is felted. Oh well. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. Try and accomplish something here. Okay, wish me luck. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.